my position, I'm willing to take a second to spill it. I'm second guessing the feeling, and I'm repressing the skill in it. I've been dressing to kill it like I'm investing in villainy. Are you feeling me? Bet you feel a bit better, you better feel better. A benefit's a benefit better ever than ever. I never said I was clever, I better get it together, cause everything that I say could be forgettable rhetoric. Gotta hope not, I don't got a whole lot left to try or testify. I'm probably next in line to wreck the mic. You gotta be deaf to wine, the best is mine, you follow me? And I'm not sure what I've been fighting for. It seems like Armageddon is upon us. Walking with the weight of the world and the way in front of me. I'm talking about the fate of the world and the way it's gonna be. You're running like they made up the data, cause in your fantasy there's something that negated the way that I play. But I'm trying to keep my focus, I'm hoping for something different while coping with your decisions. I'm choking and no one listens, I'm broken, but I'm not missing a moment, no reminiscing. I'm totally set, I'm fixing the motives of politicians. Stop. Corporations invest in domestic policy while stepping on the press and depressing us into poverty. Depressing that the pressure is messing with our equality. The stress is progressing while they decimate our economy. Oh? We can settle the battle by getting rid of the rubble, but you're just hitting the bottle because you're living for trouble. Why can't you get on the level and be a bit of a rebel when it's a bit of a struggle? You shut down. And I'm not sure what I've been fighting for.
Alright, hello, and welcome to another match in the Real Beat Star tournament. Finally getting into another match. A pretty interesting one at that. We're going to be seeing Reamcy Reamcy versus MagiFanGirl, or I love Ro32. But we are getting into the roles.
It's a bit of a riddle, a little bit of a predicament, a bit of a pickle to get rid of all the bitterness. If you're cynical, sentimental, or mental, be invisible. The minute is critical, the consequences are visceral. Consider for a minute the implications of being a different race when you live in a situation where people in your nation assume that it's your laziness perfectly correlating with money and you're making it poorly. The minute the system was invented, they made a mockery of men and of women we descended from. They forgot to read the minimal print up in the Senate that mentioned robbery of men with a different color skin they consider property. And I consider pretend that I did it properly, but then again the fact is I wasn't born into poverty. A little bit.
So it looks like we are currently in the roles, so nothing too crazy. So it looks like Reamcy winning the role, getting to choose between the first protect and going already for a protect on LN1. A very interesting protect, but it could be a very good one. I mean, LN1 is definitely a pick where it's either you can play it or you can't play it. And seeing a protect on Rice 3, so two kind of technical picks. Because, I mean, LN1 not really technical, but it is really difficult in general just to kind of hold good accuracy on. And that kind of is one of the main drives with LN1 being banned. Currently waiting on the bans, but I do believe, yeah, so it is MagiFanGirl's ban, so let's get to see what they do decide to ban. I mean, seeing a protect on LN1, yeah, I was gonna say, LN's probably a map that they might want to ban, and seeing LN2 ban, I mean, a somewhat popular band in general. So ban on Rice 2, so stream pick. But it is now moving on to Reamcy's pick, I believe, so definitely a lot of choices when it does come to them. We could potentially see one of the LNs, or maybe Hybrid 2. I'm not too sure if we will see SV. I mean, maybe we do see SV being chosen by one of these picks, but right now it does look a lot more in favor in between a Rice and more kind of LN hybrid-ish type approach. but it looks like we'll be seeing a LN3 pick. I mean, definitely a good choice coming from Reamcy if we are kind of looking at the fact that MagiFanGirl did ban one of the LNs, so choosing one of the more kind of technical LNs could kind of work in their favor. So it does look like we'll be surely getting into this pick. The first pick. Definitely a bit of an opening pick. I mean, a very technical map. A little interesting to see. I mean, you would generally save probably your more technical picks for a little bit later on when we are getting more adjusted into the actual match itself. But here we go, going into this next map now. After a little bit, we're finally getting into this pick, so gonna see how this does kind of end up going. I mean, starting off, I mean, Reamcy does have a little bit of a lead already. A 0.4 difference. I mean, already going a lot more up. I mean, in a map like this that's very technical, I mean, there's usually going to be at least one player who is falling a little bit behind. At least somewhere around here, but MagiFanGirl getting a drop. I mean, struggling a little bit on these kind of more technical, kind of somewhat fast LN sections. Reamcy not doing too bad himself. I mean, holding a 99.3. On a map like this, it is very tricky to kind of hold good accuracy, which I guess would kind of make sense as to why MagiFanGirl is holding a little bit of a lower accuracy. A 98.8. I mean, not bad by any means, but definitely really tricky to kind of just hold good accuracy on a map like this. And that miss definitely not doing any favor, especially as we are kind of cutting into the end. As we do get into this, it does look like it will be going into Reamcy's favor with MagiFanGirl getting a drop at the very end. A decently clean score coming from Reamcy, and MagiFanGirl not having that bad of a score either. I mean, it is a little messy at times with, does look like potentially 2 slider drops and a miss, but not the worst score, of course. I mean, definitely one of a score that could definitely hold up, but it is now MagiFanGirl's pick, so things will most likely take a change inside of this pool at least. I mean, we could see one of the Rice picks being chosen, potentially Rice 3 or Rice 4. Oh, but we do see an SV pick. a good pick coming from MagiFanGirl. I mean, SV, at least having a little bit of a more kind of wild card approach when looking kind of at difficulty and kind of approach into scoring. I mean, this pick could technically go into either side depending on how much both these players did practice, of course. But here we go, we are surely starting this map. Gonna be interesting to see how both these players do, especially on an SV like this, which is fairly light, not too difficult. But here we go, as we are kind of getting through this first section right here. Nothing too crazy, both players being pretty close in terms of accuracy. I mean, Reamcy having a little bit of advantage when it comes to Ellen's. A little surprising to see them have a little bit worse accuracy. But we'll kind of see how this does turn when we do get into some of the more harder parts. But here we go, as we did get into an area with a few more kind of aggressive teleports. I mean, both players being tied for a while. So you actually start to kind of drift away a little bit farther from each other. Reamcy starting to get a little bit lower accuracy. I mean, it does look a little bit more favorable for MagiFanGirl, but we'll have to kind of see, especially with this part coming right up. But as we do get into this part with some more abrupt teleports, I mean, the accuracy is looking to get closer, but Reamcy just kind of lowering his accuracy as we do get into this section, being a little bit trickier to read. Reamcy struggling a little bit to kind of keep up with the accuracy, but MagiFanGirl also dropping as the accuracies just get closer and closer by the minute. But MagiFanGirl looking to take a little bit of a lead as Reamcy gets a miss and drops so much accuracy from what we just saw. But as we do get through this, I mean, it's basically over for Reamcy with a 97, a high 97 at that versus a low 99. That's definitely not much that you can really do. But that will bring it to a 1-1. Not bad scores coming from either player though. Definitely something that Reamcy probably should practice a little bit more, but not too much that they can do now. But it is now his pick, which gives him a little bit of opportunity to kind of choose maybe his Protect or maybe something like Hybrid 1. Reamcy going for a Hybrid 1, a little bit of a risky pick, I would say. Definitely a little bit of a riskier pick, I would say, coming from Reamcy at least.
I'm on the winding road leading to where nobody knows. I'm just gonna keep on walking and go where my heart will show. And maybe to the end or to the new beginnings. To some people this may be their journey and they just keep
I think this pick is a lot risky for Reamcy just because of the mere kind of more physical rice approach that this map has compared to something like Hybrid 2 where, while a little physical, definitely does at least lean a little bit more towards the Ellen side, but we'll have to kind of see how this does shape out for both players. But here we go. I mean, so far, still favoring Reamcy just by a little bit. Not by, I mean, in terms of actually. Oh! As I say that, there's a miss coming from MagiFanGirl very early on.
I'm on the winding road leading to where nobody knows. I'm just gonna keep on walking and go where my heart will show. It may be to the end or to the new beginnings. To some people, this may be their journey and they just keep on beating.
And with that miss coming from MagiFanGirl pretty early on, I mean, it definitely isn't the worst thing that could have happened. I mean, Reamcy getting a miss now would cost a lot more to him than it would for MagiFanGirl to get a miss, and it could potentially sway the lead just immediately towards MagiFanGirl.
I need to know that you'll always be standing by my side. We are gonna embark on the long way home, do or die.
So here we go, as we are getting through this part. I mean, the accuracy is being really close. If Reamcy gets a miss, it could potentially be over for them with this pick. I mean, the accuracy is being almost the exact same, with Reamcy starting to get a little bit lower than MagiFanGirl. It's just that combo definitely saving them a lot more. But we'll have to see if they keep dropping more accuracy and if MagiFanGirl is able to kind of build up that accuracy even more. But if we do get to the section, it looks like Reamcy quickly building up that accuracy by a lot just to kind of match up with MagiFanGirl and get this point out of the way. A little bit of a risky pick though if MagiFanGirl didn't get those misses, but there are a lot of risks when it does come into kind of choosing between a lot of these maps. But he will be able to get this point. Which does mean that it is MagiFanGirl's pick now. I mean, they still have to protect in the rice maps. So we're going to be seeing Rice 1 being chosen. A little bit of a more unpopular pick, but we'll see how this kind of favors MagiFanGirl compared to Reamcy. But going into this pick, gonna be interesting to see. I mean, we haven't seen any rice picks being chosen yet. I mean, a little bit of a stranger speed pick, which could potentially favor MagiFanGirl a lot more. But we'll have to see. I mean, we haven't seen any of the rice picks chosen, so this could technically be anyone's game. But here we go, going into Rice 1. Here we go, let's maybe get into a little bit more streams in here, a little bit faster. It definitely is starting to favor MagiFanGirl just a little bit more compared to Reamcy. I mean, you do see quite a bit of an accuracy difference. Reamcy dropping into that 98 range while MagiFanGirl is still able to hold in that 99 range. Ooh, dropping a lot, Reamcy. I mean, the lead starts to grow a lot more and more. I mean, definitely not a good pick for Reamcy at least, but it definitely is being a really good pick on the side of MagiFanGirl. I mean, holding a near 99.6 compared to that really high 97, kind of going into that 98 range. This coming from MagiFanGirl, but I don't think it's gonna matter too much, especially with how much of a lead they have and how much cushioning they just have in general. Another miss coming from Reamcy. A few of them coming back. I mean, this definitely could set the tone for what MagiFanGirl might want to pick, especially within the next kind of pick that they have. As we do kind of get into this kind of final section here, I mean, it definitely is starting to favor MagiFanGirl a lot more, and it definitely does kind of give them cushioning to potentially pick something like Rice 5 in their next pick. But Reamcy kind of missing these ending areas, definitely going to cost them a lot, and it is going to go towards MagiFanGirl. And a pretty noticeable difference, but there is still one pick left from Reamcy, so it definitely is going to matter a lot what they do decide to pick. I mean, 10 more misses compared to Reamcy, definitely not something that he would want to see, but it is their pick now, so they definitely do have a lot of opportunity. I mean, they do have to protect LN1. And there we go, going into right LN1. That's the way. Here we go, going into LN1, a little bit of a longer pick. But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see kind of the two longest picks being chosen back to back potentially. I mean, we could potentially see Rice 4 or Rice 5 next after this. It is a little bit of a slower pick, so Maggie potentially has a chance to kind of get a breakpoint here, but we really have to kind of wait and see. So it does look like we'll be surely getting into Reamcy's final pick. I mean, definitely a crucial pick for both these players, as if they are able to manage to get the points on their respective picks, I mean, they will be going into tiebreaker. And likewise, I mean, if both these players get a point off each other's pick, I mean, definitely is going to matter a lot. Starting off, Reamcy having a little bit of a kind of difference in accuracy, not by too much, as things kind of start to stabilize a little bit more. So far, MagiFanGirl holding just a little bit better accuracy, but it looks like it just drops immediately onto the side of Reamcy. Definitely gonna matter who is extremely consistent, especially with these kind of slower L-lens. I mean, they generally are a little bit trickier to kind of mess up on, get a few grades here and there. I mean, you can definitely see it between these two players. I mean, they're turning it back and forth. I mean, one of these grades definitely doing a lot of damage. I mean, you see Reamcy going from 99.7 to 99.5, and likewise you do see MagiFanGirl getting close to Reamcy and then going into that 99.2 range. As we kind of get forward through this pick, I mean, Reamcy's starting to build up a little bit of that accuracy. MagiFanGirl staying consistently in that 99.2 range, not really going too far up or down from where they were. So it's definitely a matter of kind of consistency being tested here, although it does look like MagiFanGirl might be dropping a little bit, but kind of working back their way up. Definitely is a game where both these players are going to have to stay consistent, but MagiFanGirl getting a miss right before the break part. Definitely not what you want to see, especially when you're in this position. I mean, it is Reamcy's pick, so no harm, no foul. But here we go, as we do get into a slightly faster section, I mean, we could potentially see another miss from either player. I mean, Reamcy staying very consistent in that 99.6 range, definitely helping them a lot, especially as MagiFanGirl tries to kind of build up that accuracy and especially recover from that miss from earlier. As we got there, I mean, MagiFanGirl is starting to kind of drop a little bit of that accuracy. I mean, getting into that 99.10 range. Definitely not that bad, but still. I mean, that miss definitely did a lot of damage to them. And as we kind of get into this ending, MagiFanGirl getting another miss right at the end. I think I'm gonna do a lot of damage to him. Reamcy dropping a little bit of accuracy as well. I mean, in that 99.5 range compared to that 99.6 range, definitely not that much, but still definitely noticeable. But it is now going to be MagiFanGirl's pick. I mean, match at match point, 1 point away from tiebreaker. Definitely going to be interesting to see what does get picked out though, because I mean there are a lot of picks to kind of be chosen, but we see RST being chosen.
He's coming out again for a new point. Get your bets down, ladies and gentlemen. 4-4's the point, mark 4. Ace, deuce, scrap, 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 mark 4. Scrap, mark 4. Who wants the hard 4? 5 wants 4.
Check me out, y'all.
I mean, a little bit of a shorter pick.
9 a winner. Got a hot hand. Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. 9 a winner. Got a hot hand. Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. 4, and he made it the hard way. Play the front line, take the hard. You have a shooter and a good one. Coming out for a new point. Get your bets down, ladies and gentlemen. He's a rolling point is 9. Place 9. Place 9. 8 shooting for 9. 5 shooting for 9. He's a rolling point is 9. Place 9. 8 shooting for 9. 5 shooting for 9. Who wants to come? 6 to point.
Check me out, y'all.
9 away.
But here we go, going into this next pick. I mean, a little bit on the more technical side, so it definitely could favor someone like MagiFanGirl. I mean, especially with how we saw RST kind of go.
9 a winner. Pay the front line, take the don'ts. He's coming out again for a new point. Get your bets down, ladies and gentlemen. 4-4's the point.
I mean, you definitely do see a little bit of an accuracy difference already starting off. I mean, a little bit under 0.4 or around that range, so definitely a little bit of cushioning at least. But we'll have to see if both these players can stay consistent. I mean, a pick being in kind of more rice category definitely does give MagiFanGirl a little bit of an edge here. And it definitely does show that they do have a lot more consistency when it kind of comes to these kind of picks. I mean, you did see Ellen being a little bit of a riskier pick, a little bit of a harder pick, but when it switches over to rice, it definitely does show that they definitely have opportunity. I mean, the accuracy is still being fairly close, but you do see a little bit of an accuracy difference at least. It's just a matter if these players can stay consistent, but on a pick that's so short like this, I mean, these players should generally be fine. So far, Reamcy's starting to kind of catch up a little bit with MagiFanGirl, but just kind of dropping down a little bit more, and likewise, MagiFanGirl starting to drop a little bit of accuracy as well, but they still have a little bit of that kind of accuracy range, starting to kind of slowly try and build up back into that 99.4 range. And a miss coming from Reamcy, definitely not what he wants to see, especially as we are getting into this ending. I mean, each miss is going to cost so much more, especially just because of how short this map is. But as we are closing into the ending of this match, I mean, it's going to go towards favor of MagiFanGirl. Gonna bring it to tiebreaker. But here we go, going into the tiebreaker. Definitely going to be very interesting to see how both these players perform, especially on a map like this. I mean, definitely requiring a lot more kind of physicality. I mean, a map of this caliber is definitely going to kind of test both these players. I mean, especially with some of the kind of jacks within here. But as we do wait, I mean, it's really hard to tell who might win this. I mean, both these players are pretty physical enough for this tiebreaker. But the only thing with this map is the amount of kind of jacks that can be kind of intrusive within some of these islands, which could definitely give Reamcy a little bit of trouble compared to MagiFanGirl. And here we go. It does look like we'll be surely getting into this match though. For a little bit of time. But here we go. It does look like we're finally getting into this. Getting to the tiebreaker. Definitely a very, very interesting match that's going to be kind of held here. But we'll see who does have the kind of bigger advantage when it does come to a map like this one. But here we go. Starting off, nothing too crazy. MagiFanGirl holding just a little bit of a lead right now. They're definitely going to want to keep holding this lead, but looks like shifting just a little bit towards Reamcy now. I mean, consistency is going to be the name of the game with this one. I mean, especially with the length that this map is, it's definitely going to be really important that these players can stay extremely consistent. I mean, the accuracy is not being too far apart. I mean, one miss could just definitely set things over. Reamcy getting a very, very early miss. I mean, a very dirty one at that, dropping below 99 range. I mean, physicality is somewhat becoming a little bit of a factor with a map like this one. But as we are getting into this next section here, I mean, things are going to start to ramp up just a little bit more. Miss coming from MagiFanGirl, but not as bad as Reamcy's miss. So might not just shift over to Reamcy as Reamcy gets another miss in here. But here we go, as we do get into a little bit of a more rice section. Definitely going to favor MagiFanGirl just a little bit more, especially with how we've been seeing the rice maps put into play. Miss coming from MagiFanGirl though, so I don't think it's going to be enough, especially as Reamcy gets a miss right here. Two misses as well, definitely starting to struggle a little bit on a map like this. Here we go. We get into a little bit of a heavier rice area as well. I mean, the score is starting to become a lot closer than it was. I mean, both these players are going to have to stay really consistent. As I say that, Reamcy getting a miss, starting to get into that really, really low 98 range. Hoping that they don't get into that below 98 range, into that 97 range, but we only have to wait and see, especially with the miss coming here. I mean, both these players getting misses left and right. I mean, not really one player going too crazy. I mean, definitely a little bit of an accuracy difference. But as we are in this break part, I mean, both these players get time to kind of build the accuracy, but Reamcy getting a miss in here, a little surprising, especially as this part has a little bit more Ellens to kind of favor him just a little bit, but there's still one Ellen section left, so we definitely have to kind of wait and see how that does kind of go for MagiFanGirl. Especially with these inverse parts kind of coming in, I mean, definitely really scary to kind of see Reamcy missing on these sections. I mean, it definitely kind of sets up the stage for Reamcy to potentially miss within the kind of main Ellen section, with MagiFanGirl really outperforming right here. But here we go, as we are getting into the final drop, MagiFanGirl with a little bit over 19k lead. Definitely starting to build up a little bit more, as well as Reamcy tries to build up into that to that 400 combo range. I mean, still trying to build up that accuracy, but we're gonna have to see if they start to struggle on this second half of the drop. But here we go, getting into a bit of a more Ellen heavy area. Reamcy getting a miss like I had expected. I mean, if they're starting to struggle a little bit on the earlier parts, I mean, these parts are definitely gonna be really brutal. MagiFanGirl able to really handle this really well with a 98.77, definitely helping that Reamcy is getting more misses. I mean, even with that miss coming from MagiFanGirl, they have so much cushioning. MagiFanGirl starting to get a little bit more misses here, but I don't think things are going to shift over just yet unless we start to see a lot of misses coming from MagiFanGirl. But the miss coming from Reamcy, I mean, things could get so much more closer now. But if we do get into this ending here, I mean, definitely can favor MagiFanGirl a little bit more. But here we go, as we enter this last inverse part to get into the outro slowly. MagiFanGirl getting a miss, but it's not going to be enough for Reamcy to take it back as we're entering this final part, concluding the tiebreaker. MagiFanGirl is going to take it and move on to the next round of 16 match. A really strong play coming from MagiFanGirl. I mean, a 910 was a 97.99 compared to the 97.71, but still so much of a difference. But that does conclude this match. MagiFanGirl going to move on to the next match, and unfortunately Reamcy will be knocked out of the tournament. So good job to both players. I mean, a really interesting match. Really impressive from both players, but that does conclude this match. And I mean, on the schedule, I mean, I do believe this match was rescheduled, but the next match will be Iwata versus Chicken Sammy, which is in 2 hours, so definitely stay tuned for that. But with that, I've been your commentator Znow, and I will see you in about 2 hours.